What's going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. In today's video, we're going to be looking at my Class 2 runs at the Northern Utah versus Southern Utah RC Crawling Championship. This is Southern Utah Round 2. So I have actually gone out and set these courses for everyone, and I made sure to grab some footage here at the beginning of the video of all of the competitors who came out to join the event. And let me say, it was an awesome event, and I definitely need to send a huge shout out to our sponsors as seen here: Sky RC, Rock Pirates RC, Reefs RC, Joe Ropes, and as well as a bunch of the Northern Utah guys like Deez Company, 816 Garage, Scumbag RC, Mike, the chef. He threw in some money into the prizes and raffles. Thank you all so much, guys. I really appreciate it. So we are taking a look at some of the unlimited cars here, a bunch of the drivers, everybody hanging out. And that's kind of what I want to highlight here, is that these events I have put together to be as inviting as possible for as many drivers as possible. It's loosely based on Class 2, and then unlimited is just bring what you want. As long as it fits within that 13-inch wide gate, you are ready to rock and roll. Right here you can see my brother running his Capra, sitting on 2.2-inch wheels and tires with rear steer and dig. It's all legal in unlimited. It's all good. Bring out the cars you want to run. So I really just want to highlight as well just what an awesome time it is to have everybody get out there. It's a great excuse to bring everybody together, including myself, with visiting my family headed up north for the competitions. It's a great reason to get up there a little more often than I might normally do, and same with them coming down and helping with my events. So thanks to my family there. Big thanks to my wife for all the support that she's given me through these competitions. It does take quite a bit of work to keep these rolling, and definitely thanks to our sponsors for helping these events run smoothly as well, along with the prizes that we give away in the raffle for every registered driver. So if you guys want to come out to one of these competitions, the way we did it this time, we handed everybody a number and then called out the numbers, and anybody in the field had an opportunity at grabbing a prize. So it was a great time. You can see a ton of awesome different trucks out here, all sorts of different kinds of builds. The Southern Utah area has a great scene with a bunch of really enthusiastic drivers that want to come out and have a good time, hang out with friends. Sky RC helped provide a barbecue lunch for everybody, so that was really awesome. Everybody grabbed a burger. We shut things down right around noon, started cooking burgers, and that's when we did our raffle. That way we didn't have to wait around all day. Luckily the weather held out. It did get a little bit windy towards the afternoon, but most drivers were finished with the courses at that point. I also want to send a huge shout out and thank you to our judges of the event. They did an awesome job. I had 4 courses set up, so I needed a minimum of 8 judges at a time to keep 2 people rolling on each course. We did our best to get everybody through nice and quick, but I couldn't have done it without you guys. And having as many volunteer judges as I did, I was able to run the event and be the host and put out little fires here and there, as well as grab some footage of our competitors sitting all around in the area. So this was in Sand Hollow. This is such a fun spot. This is my local spot that I like to go to, and I like to share it with all my friends. So without further ado, I've got my Rock Pirates RC Pirate Wagon, which is an SCX 10.2 decked out with all the Rock Pirates goodies, and we're going to be coming up on my Class 2 runs here in just a second once Talon is done with cleaning this gate in his MOA car. Great work there, dude. Really awesome to see. So let's check out the Pirate Wagon on Course 1 in Class 2. Here we go, shooting out onto the rocks. I'm not even going to edit any of this. This is my full run. These go by pretty quick because I do know where I'm going. Again, I set all these courses. I usually do it by myself because I don't want to have it weird if someone helps set gates and practices on them and then goes out and competes. One thing I want to point out is that I am in no way in the championship points against anybody. I am not taking any prizes from the raffles or anything like that. If I win the competition, it doesn't count towards anything. I bump myself out of the list at the end of these runs. So that everyone gets their rightful place. I just think it's fun to see how I stack up against my friends while we're out there on the rocks. You can see me taking a little back up there. That's because if I were to drive forward through that gate, I would have ended up taking a reverse to get that corner clean anyway, so you might as well back down into it and pull out forward. It's a little bit cleaner maneuver, and going down that steep drop with the nose up, as you'll see here, I go nose down a very steep drop, and because I didn't let my tires rotate enough, I end up clipping a cone and ending up completely turtled where I have to upright my vehicle. Watching that footage there, it was definitely evident that I should have just let the wheels roll a little bit more. With that brushless sensored system on here, that thing will hold itself vertical and it will let itself roll completely over on its roof, as you just saw. Getting through gate 5, I put a nice little ledge right in front of that gate so you could easily start driving through that gate nice and clean. It all seemed easy until you run into a wall right in front of you, so you had to anticipate that. I try and build these courses to have some different style gates and make things interesting as you go. Like this one, you want to turn out driver as you drop down, and I didn't realize it at the time, but you can easily end up way down in that canyon. It's a sandy drop, it's no good for anybody, and myself, I ended up trapped down there, had to grab a reverse, and luckily a little bit of spice to get up here. Now, this was one unfortunate part of my course design. When I originally went out and set these gates, this climb was just barely possible. It had just enough traction on it so that I could kind of bump up there and I could get that gate nice and clean. As the day went on, a lot of competitors were pulling sand down onto that face as well as kind of polishing the rock. These RCs, if you get enough of them in a row, they will kind of take some of the traction away from that rock. Doing everything I can here to upright myself without touching the truck. But this climb right here, it ended up being almost a winch only gate, which I really try and design my courses to not require a winch to get from the start to the end. You can use a winch that is built into the points, that's fine, but I try and make it to where anybody can show up and get from the start to the finish. That is only gate 7, I believe, and then we've got another gate number 8. Those are both really tricky, and the traction just disappeared on me as the day went on. I am running towards the end of the day here, so I'm getting one of the worst conditions of the course while out here running against all my other competitors. But I was able to get up there without a winch. This truck does not have one in it, and my buddy Mike in front of me who ran this, he was not happy with me on having set those cones. So I'm sorry, Mike. I will put a little better effort into getting these courses to run a little bit smoother without a winch next time. So trying to get up this one, I ended up clipping the cone, and I think I ended up taking just a small backup and a bump, and I ended up bumping way off to the right, not even close to getting through the original gate. I think I did sneak 2 tires through there. I don't run progression points. Once you kill the gate, you're free to move on. And then if you want to clean a gate, you got to get all 4 tires through. This is a bonus gate, but it's a 30-foot cliff off that driver's side there, and then it's a nice off-camber turn uphill, and then the climb itself isn't bad. The gate's pretty generous. It's not that hard of a gate. It's just intimidating side hilling along a 30-foot cliff, and if your truck goes off there, you might not be driving away. As far as I know, nobody rolled off of it that I'm aware of. I do know that someone hit the bonus cone once or twice. Here we go, dropping out of 9. I clipped that corner with my back tire. That's because I didn't get a good angle or high enough on that ledge as I drop out. Rolling up into gate 10, this is just more of a technical climb, working the steering as I go up, turn out at the top, and that ends out my run. Not real excited with it, but having a good time regardless. So I ended up picking up 3 gates, 5 reverses, 2 uprights, a clean bonus for a total of 35 points heading into course 2. Here is course 2. This one, and designing these courses, I believed was going to be the more technical, more challenging, more difficult course. But of course, things vary for everybody. You'll hear different stories as you talk to everyone saying that course 1 was really easy, course 2 was really easy, and then there's the other guys who say that, what are you thinking when you designed any of these gates, because it was all ridiculous. So I end up a little bit bellied here trying to do a U-turn, just bad driving on my part, and I end up having to take a full throttle save there, and trying to avoid a reverse, I end up forcing myself into a reverse. Luckily, kept the truck on all 4 wheels and tires as we head down to gate number 2. Working all the way up and around, trying to get myself lined up nice and high on this little ledge here. There are no boundary marks over here, so I'm free to run the course just kind of as far as I want to go. But obviously we got a time limit on here, and I think our time limit was 7 or 8 minutes, so plenty of time to get things done. I knew that my truck was going to belly out there. I know the approach angle on my truck and the breakover angle, and I know that that one was going to be an issue. So I gave a little bit of throttle, bumped up and out of there, nice and clean. Now we're working over to gate 3. Gate 3 is a fun one because I like to do this little trick as I turn, where I blip the throttle, the truck kind of hops and spins around, and gate 3 is a perfect spot for it to do that. Again, running low on traction, really slipping more tire there than I would like to, but it's getting my rear set up as wide as possible, which kind of works out. So right here is where I'm using that throttle to try and get that truck to hop around that cone, and not quite nailing the line like I had originally anticipated, but my rear tire is getting real close and I'm just running out of room to hop, and so I decided to take a good reverse there, swing myself out and around that gate number 3, because a 1-point reverse is much better than a 10-point gate penalty. As we work up onto this narrow ledge, it's about 2 trucks wide. It's a little bit jagged climb here. I'm trying to get that rear driver tire all the way out to the edge before I start my turn, I should say, into this drop. And as you can see here, just turned past that cone, nice and clean. Got close, but that was a nice clean gate number 4 there. Turned into a climb up to gate 5. Some great fun ledges here. Nothing super hard or technical about this one, just kind of more or less a gate to be in your way. You could definitely get it wrong, but going to get you headed over towards bonus or gate number 6. So I am on my way over to 6 right now. Gonna drive high up onto these rocks and kind of drive more straight down. This one is off camber and it's got a little crack right off the front tires, which can easily dump you down into that arrow cone, and then you got to watch your rear as it comes through. So I gave it some throttle to not allow the truck to have time to drop into that arrow cone. I throttled out of it. Again, here we will see my little throttle modulation, trying to get that truck rotated in a tighter turning radius. A little bit of gas to get up and over that belly as it drops off that ledge. This is a bonus climb. So another option to this was people were dropping in from the high side and then turning around. I dropped in from the low side and climbed up and out on this bonus. Side hill's pretty good. Then you got these little ledges and whatnot to navigate on your way up. Really not all that difficult, but there was a 6-foot drop. I'm standing at the bottom of that drop and I am 6 foot tall, and so it's kind of at eye level. So definitely a big drop there. What you saw me doing right there is I was actually blowing dust off of right in between the gates to give my truck maximum traction as it rolls through, because a bunch of sand rolls down in here, and as you can see my truck sliding just as I wiggle my servo, all 4 wheels and tires slide down in between this gate, and that could not have gone any better. If I ran that 5 times, I would still prefer how I did it right there in that comp. So pretty happy with how that turned out. Ended up pushing my frame into there, and I knew that the belly could be an issue, so I gave it some throttle. From here, it's dead space on over to a climb up and out of this little trench. So throttled up through there till things get nice and technical again. Right here, I don't realize in real time that my front driver is trapped in there like that. I was watching my rear passenger, and my front driver is why that rear passenger got trapped. So just steered out of it a little more aggressive on the ledge, pulling up on the wall, full turn to try and get this truck to rotate. A little bit of throttle hop in there. There she goes. Portal axles doing their work on the belly. A little more wheel speed drags it on out. Gate's a nice side hill through here, just perfect width on this ledge to run a gate and a truck. And that rear gets real close to that arrow cone, but it was clean, and the judge agreed. So we're on our way up over to gate number 9. Gate number 9 is pretty similar to how 6 was, but I go a little bit higher, and I almost drop straight down. You could side hill through here where the ledge is real high on the passenger side, but I drive completely off on that ledge, all 4 wheels and tires, and then I make my turn after the gate, then turn driver, just a little bit of throttle to get down onto flat ground, nice and secure. Gate 10 is the only gate I had never driven before, because I set this gate the morning of the competition. It was the only gate I hadn't set previously. Couldn't decide where I wanted it, so I put it in this hard to access drop where there wasn't enough room to drive in and turn down it. So I personally went way up on this rock and drove down, and as I go through here, start to give it throttle, it's up on the nose, the rear end kicks over, and nothing I could do at that point once it started sliding off other than hit that rear cone with my back tire. But that was the only gate I hit. So as you can see here, gates plus 10 in reverse, we only backed up 3 times. A clean bonus gives me a total of 3 points. So pretty clean run there, a total of 38 points for both courses, and that was good enough to land me, I think, top 8, something like that, amongst all my buddies. We definitely saw some great drivers out there. I got smoked in points though. There were people who ended up with like a total score of 11, I believe. So definitely some awesome driving going on in Class 2, and I'm not surprised. There's a lot of really great competitors down here in Southern Utah. Once again, thank you to our sponsors. We've got Rock Pirates RC, Sky RC Hobby Shop in St. George, Utah. If you guys are in the area, stop by and say what's up to Cody. He's awesome. He'll get you helped out. We've got Reefs RC. Reefs donated a bunch of products that we've been giving away at all of our raffles, including winches, a Reefs Raw 500. We've got the new Smart 900 and super awesome products. Thank you very much, Reefs. Greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys, my name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. I greatly appreciate you watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you out at a future event from the Northern Utah versus Southern Utah series, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down. Now you're dipped out. There it goes.